Hello everyone and welcome back. Look at this beautiful shed with this corrugated steel. Compared to the tutorial we did previously, now I added some corrugated steel panels and I will show you how to place them and how to optimize your workflow. For example, here I use the group within a generic model and basically I create it almost in an instant, my entity, and then when I exit it I can basically I have one block, so the array doesn't disintegrate into the atmosphere as I could say. Let's get started. This is a custom made component. It is a generic model from an extrusion. So if you watched my tutorial on extrusions, you would certainly kind of make sense of how to make this. We need to do this wavy shape, if you can see over here. So will delete everything, select all instances visible in view. It seems that not everything is selected, unfortunately, even though it is a generic model. I guess we'll click some Control plus. In your project you won't have yet these things, but as there aren't so many panels, I can delete them manually. So this is the shed from the previous tutorial without this bin system, of course, which I will delete. I basically played around to remake the smaller version of this shed, of this larger shed, which is imported from Revit 25, but unfortunately this doesn't work. Now I will create my corrugated steel. So I will go to architecture, model in place, and I will go to generic models. But if you don't care so much about the category, you can create it as a column, even though it isn't a column. But to be correct, I will do a generic model. Um, so yeah, we have this extrusion. Click extrusion when set work plane, because it makes sense to use L1 as a reference, the ground level. And now we are in 3D space. I'll click here on top to see this kind of layer. And I think I will show that simplified module version because I'm very lazy actually. Usually I'm very lazy and I try to do the things as simple as possible. So I'll try to create some sort of module, something like this, something like this, and maybe offset this stuff. Let's see. Let's do something like this, like this. You don't need to be that accurate. If you have some certain specifications, yes, if you have that specific counter, but otherwise it doesn't make sense. So I have this kind of guy, these lines. Okay, so I basically copy it and put it something like this, and as you can see I have some unperfected lines. So my main purpose would be to perfect the module that would be repeated. So yeah, so far so good. Now let's see if I copy this once again and put it in that lower part. Now I can see that this module kind of repeats itself. I will do a preview, let's see. And yeah, okay, let's go and click shift and the middle mouse button to pan to orbit. And if you see that something is not okay, it's orbiting a bit weird, you can just click on the element that you want to orbit around, for example this column or this corrugated steel, and yeah, you can see it. Now just look carefully at the arrows, and any extrusion has the up and down arrows. If you can spot these two, you need to pay attention. And now I can extrude this upwards. So basically I have my panel. Now depending on the panel size, I can multiply this panel several times. I think I will expand this. This kind of corrugated steel also works, for example, doing some infrastructure work. For example, you have a bridge to build and you have a foundation, and that foundation is underwater, and you put these kind of blocks and you basically overlay them. So we'll go to floor plan, not L1. Actually, I want this one in 3D, because you can set it as a, let's say, floor plan, but it's actually the roof view, let's say. So I can make this panel bigger. I'll show you the classic way, let's say, copying some modules multiple times. Wait a bit, I will delete this and copy the module from scratch like this, and this should work. Yeah, perfect. Now if you want to move faster, you select more of these, and basically you double each time the number of modules that you can do. So you increment basically exponentially, and now have even more of those. And now you're kind of finished, and when you reach the end, basically you have this, and you basically delete those extra lines, and then you have this grand panel. And I can finish the model. Let's look in the 3D view. Now I have a corrugated steel panel which sits beautifully. This is a method. The second method, I'll show you the second method. So I go into this generic model, I put myself on top of the plan. I click to edit these profiles, and then let's say I want to, because let's say these are prefabricated and I want to do only half of this distance, so something like this. And this would be some standard panel that would be copied, I guess. So this time I'll do something, let's say like this, wherever I see it. Okay, and when I'll copy, I think I'll delete this part because I want to assemble it like a puzzle, like, yeah, like a Lego or something. So that's a fair comparison. And now each piece, no, actually I would click on the right tick, and now I'm still into the generic model editor, and now I can do an array. This array multiplies my panels, and I can do a bunch of panels, and as you can see, I have my panels done. And the great advantage about these groups, that I can set each individual part, so I can adjust so that it fits perfectly here. And yeah, now I can put 4 panels. Let's put 5 panels. Okay, let's put 100 panels. Yay, I think it will crash, but regardless, it will be fun. It's so fun. Okay, yeah, we kind of got carrying along. Oh my god, we have such a wall. Yeah. Yeah, looks like a great wall, if you know what I mean. I didn't expect you kind of can do some sort of border with this stuff in Revit before GTA, the next version. Okay, I don't need as many actually. Okay, keep it at 5. Yeah, I accidentally built a wall. Okay, yeah. So we have this marvel. Actually, I can't quite see a difference. This is some stuff, and this is some other stuff, and I really, it actually, it's barely traceable, the difference. Yeah, actually never tried that this detail, but wow, actually don't even see the difference. That's great. Yeah, the only thing that I would need is like 3 more mini modules. Let's see if I can add one more module or something. Line is too short. What on earth if line is too short? Why? No. Yes. So I accidentally changed with an arrow something and I didn't like it. So I must copy this. Okay. I will delete this line and hopefully get better results. Let's see. Yeah. Now I will move this over here. And yeah, this looks far better. Okay. Okay. Yeah, now we have, let's say, our corrugated steel. Let's say I keep an offset and I keep it as is. Yeah, I have this offset and now I have my wonderful wall coming very beautifully, absolutely stunning. So I can copy it into the plan and I have it over here. Let's see how it works in 3D. Yeah, it looks absolutely marvelous. One aspect to mention, if you modify something in the group, it modifies all the other things that are the same time. Actually, pretty neat thing about groups. So if you want to do something separate, let me think. If it works in a generic model. No, unfortunately, no. No. It seems that inside generic models you can have groups and can modify the element in the group, but I can't seem to duplicate because I maybe wanted to duplicate a group and be similar but not the same, you know. That's it. Anyway, so we'll do the roof part, and this time I will use these purlins that I made that you saw at the start, and I will also create some purlins over here. So I will explain why a bit later in, let's say, 30 seconds. If you hold with me to put this beam system, you will see the purpose. So I forgot to change the direction. After I change the direction, I tell you the exact reason for why do we need this. So for these purlins, if you see, they're tilted, and I have a reference plane that will help me position these extrusions because they start from a base plane. So I will do an extrusion just as I did with the ground floor and create here component model in place, generic model, because that is the most, let's say, sensible or the the best option for naming if you don't know exactly what it is, you know, if it is a roof, if it is a wall. I could have made it a wall, a custom wall, but yeah, I didn't make it yet. So without further ado, we will do that roof. So set work plane, pick a plane. We pick this plane over here, and now basically we do the same. Let's see how we position ourselves. This is important. Let's say I stay something like this, like in a, let's say, isometric view, but from the front. And let me see. Maybe I can use some of this as, let's say, reference, at least to keep the pace. Something like this, and I start from here. Let's say, yeah, like this, and something like this. Yeah, okay. And now we have, let's say, our basic component. Let's copy it. Yeah, let's intersect. And I think let's see if now it is better. Yeah, I think now I can copy. Now I'm ready to copy. Now it is perfected. Let me think. Yeah, no, now should the fourth iteration, I think it should be okay. Yeah, now it is okay. Yeah, so I have this kind of panel. Let's see. Something like this. Something like this. It's ready. Let's say it's ready. Yeah, it's a bit different, but yeah, whatever. Okay, and don't forget about the arrows. Now I will come with my surface over the middle, which should be something like here. Let me check. Yeah, and I put myself into the front view to bring this profile lower, something like this. And let me check. No, it's not at the right level. It's good that I put myself onto the front end, but I have to carefully check for this. So if you see, the ridge intersects the upper beam, so you do not need to have it intersected. Yeah, now I think it is above. Let's check how much above is it. Yeah, it's kind of perfectly positioned. So now we can do an array. Now I can do an array, and I can put it to the second, and I'll place it something like here. And the profile can be optimized. Let's see if I move it a bit lower. That's a pity that I can't really see the seam itself. Yeah, it looks kind of okay. Oh, actually, if I look something like on here into this, and just to face this profile, I think this is important. Can I face it? No, unfortunately, no. Yeah, I have to kind of face that corrugated, let's say, face this narrow face and to align, but I keep it as is because it's almost perfect. So yeah, I have like, let me check how many copies. Let's say 10, 8. Okay, maybe 9. Yeah, looks better. Okay, and now I will have it something like here. Yeah, and actually it looks quite professional, I would say. Now I'll click into the group and extrude a bit more over here to have some sort of overhang, I guess. And yeah, I'm basically finished with, so I have 1, 2, 3 pieces which look great. Unfortunately, it would have been very simple to just go onto the top and just mirror this, but I don't think it will work. If it will work, it is a miracle. Wow, it actually worked. Wow, I'm actually astounding. But it didn't mirror it. It didn't mirror it. Or it mirrored it, but the orientation didn't mirror, because let's see, can be something be changed? Maybe the plane it was placed on. I will try. I have it in place. Okay. I have this. Pick new, and let's see if I can pick this plane and finish. Yep. Oh, it worked actually. Okay, we seem to be able to improvise some stuff. That's wonderful. Yeah, didn't quite expect that. I tried previously to do this model and I wasn't quite successful in copying, but I tried something else. I tried to rotate this panel. I wasn't successful. But now I mirrored it and changed the plane, and that's why I use the purlin, because the extrusion starts from wherever I start the extrusion, for the ground plane or for that left purlin or from this right purlin, and that's why it worked surprisingly. So yeah, there's almost nothing left to do besides of let's say shortening this end, something like this, and now it looks better. Let me see. There's a slight problem, but I don't know which one is. Okay. Uh, may maybe this should be weird. I don't know if this has anything to do with the right ones. I told you with the groups that all groups would be updated. Oh no, maybe just the, yeah, I think just the generic model itself, but it will not reflect onto the other generic models. So basically the change will be containerized. So only within the generic model I have this, not within the old the project. And now I can tell you that it looks absolutely stunning. Even better than my previous attempt, I can say. So yeah. Yeah, this is the shed. Doesn't look so glamorous, but for a second try, it looks kind of nice. Yeah. Uh, yeah, let's add a bit this connection to the structure, because I want to make it look beautiful. So I will add, let me see, not kneecap, crank beam to beam, apex hunch or something. Yeah, it did it. Yeah, it looks good. And I think this one too. Let's see. Architecture, connection, apex hunch. Yeah. And this one as well. Yeah, I wanted to complete this to make it look beautiful. Look how beautiful this is. So we have this structure, we have also these nodes. Let me make the connection. No, I want a simple apex hunch. So yeah, now it looks beautiful. Now look how it looks. Yeah, I will actually hide in view those reference plane and grids, and hide also these. So now I have basically this shed, and I think I can also extend those purlins, and those bracings are work in progress. I'm pretty satisfied with the shape of the shed. It looks absolutely stunning, if you can see. And yeah, you can make it as big as you want, even as big as this, but you'll have a lot more work because there are more bracings to do, unfortunately manually. There are some stuff to automate, but I think we'll explain those in other tutorials and see how those automatic uh, brace connections work and what are their limitations. So thank you for joining in, and now I have a beautiful shed and structure. If you can look around and admire, and yeah, let me put myself in a perspective. So top and view, 3D view. It's so beautiful that I want to see it better. Oh, actually, it's, yeah, something like this, and make everything else disappear. Maybe change the camera. Uh, Change the camera. So this is, no, I do not want none. Okay, I found what I wanted, but yeah, L1, and I want to change the angle of view. Let's say I want to see it like this. Uh, Hide in view, category. Hide in view, category. Yeah, so we have the great shed, which looks nice. Yeah, so now I have the shed. Yeah, I think it looks better in 3D. So thank you for watching. Sorry for holding for so long, but it turned out great. So yeah, see you around, and click subscribe and give a like, and tell me please in the comment section what you would you like to see next. I'm very curious of your opinions, and yeah, see you around.